Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel The Growing Developer. In this video we're gonna learn about one of the most important widgets in any application, that is PageView. You might have seen in nowadays in almost every application, every e-commerce application, you have some sort of slider, you have some sort of sliding functionalities where you can slide between many pages, and that's what makes this PageView exceptionally handy. And let's see how we can implement PageView in our Flutter application and add some cool stuff to our UI, right? And I'll show you how we can programmatically change the page index. So let's begin this.
The Growing Developer.
So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna delete everything and let's start from scratch. Quickly import the material package, and you have your void main function, and this void main will call a method known as runApp. Inside this runApp, we'll call material app, and as a home parameter, I'll make a home page. That's it. Put a semicolon. This home page is yet to be made, so we'll create a stateful widget and name it as home page. Now, why am I creating a stateful widget instead of stateless widget? Because page view, we are changing the index of pages, so we need some sort of states to manage, right? So let's give a scaffold, and as an app bar I'll give it an app bar, and to title I'll give it a text widget. Inside that we'll write page view demo, right? Let's save it and see. Okay, we get some error. We have to restart this application, and there you go. We have a blank screen for us. Now inside this body, what I'm going to do is I'll quickly write a page view, right? That's it. This is a page view, that is a view which will include pages, which will include widgets as pages. So we have some sort of parameters here. Let's see. Physics. That means what kind of scrolling effect do you want? Do you want the pages to be scrollable by drag? Do you want them to be always scrollable, or do you want to add some sort of bouncing effect to it? Next is page snapping, but let's quickly go to children first and see what we need here. Now this is a list of widgets, basically your list of screens, or you can always add some list of images if you want it to work as a slider. For the sake of simplicity, what I'm going to do is I'll just declare 3 containers here. Wait a minute. Yes, 3 containers here, and I'll give different colors to them. So the first container would be like maybe a indigo color. Second would be a red color. Don't judge me on the colors, right? Just for demonstration purpose. So yeah, and that's it, I guess. Let's save it and see what happens. And you can see that we have our indigo container. If I just swipe it, you can see that we have the swiping effect. Now the pages are changing according to my drag, that is if I'm dragging. What if you want to add some buttons, and this should be dragged only and only when the buttons are pressed, right? So we'll see how we can control that. Before that, let's see other widgets. So we have page snapping. If I set this page snapping to false, by default page snapping parameter has a true value. I'll show you what is page snapping. Now if I scroll it, you can see that I can scroll halfway down. Now this complete page is not getting scrolled. If you want some custom scroll effects, you can always set the page snapping to false, and you can see that I can scroll halfway around as well. If I set it to true, which is by default true, if you don't give page snapping value, it will be set to true. Now you can see that if I scroll here, if I drag here, the complete page is getting loaded. I can't scroll halfway, so the complete page will be loading, right? So next thing, let's see. Next we have controller. I'll tell you what is controller. We have scroll direction. You can either choose to scroll horizontally or vertically. It's totally your choice. Okay, so now let's quickly move on to the page controller, how we can programmatically control our pages. So for that, we have to first initialize a page controller. We'll write like this: page controller equals to page controller, right? you can give different parameters to it, that is initial page, key page, or viewport fraction. So we'll first go to initial page and I'll set it to 0. The page's values start from 0, 1, 2. It's like the index of your arrays or list. And the next thing is, to this page view, as a controller property, I'll pass the page controller. Right now, this way, what will happen is that I can control the page, this page view interaction using this page controller. How to do that? In my app bar, as an actions, I'll pass two icon buttons. Right now, the icon should be like first one would be icon and icons dot arrow back iOS. Right, I'll just copy this, and this should be arrow. Okay, this should be forward and this should be backward, arrow back iOS. Now what I did here is, let's save it and show you. Now you can see that as an actions I have two buttons that does nothing because the onPressed value is right now null. So in this onPressed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write PageController dot animate to. You have this animate to, right? So you'll write animate to page. Now this is which page you want to be shown on the screen now. So I'll write 1. And what should be the duration? The duration is how much time you want the scroll effect to take effect. So for the milliseconds, I'll pass 250 milliseconds. And for the curve, I'll write curves dot maybe bounce in out. Now these are different curves, the different animations that you want to happen when you scroll the pages. Now inside this, I'll pass the same method, and instead of 1, I'll write maybe 2. Right, so let's save it and see what happens. So okay, now you can see that I've chosen that on press of this arrow forward iOS button, that is this icon, I should animate to page 2, that is our last page, which is our brown color container. So let's see, if I press it, you can see that I got scrolled directly to the last page. Now if I press this button, the arrow back iOS, I should animate to the page 1. So if I press here, you can see that I animate to page 1, and now I animate to page 2. Okay. So what if you want to keep a track of which page is getting changed and to see which page is now shown on the screen? So for that we have a property known as on page changed. So it will go. So what we're gonna do is, I'll create an integer value. I'll write page changed. Right, it should be initially 0. So we have a parameter known as on page changed. Now this takes up a parameter value, that is, it gives the parameter in return as an integer value, and we can set the current page, or we can say the page changed, to this index value. We have to call set state because we want the UI to be updated. And let's just cut and paste inside set state. Now what is happening is that whenever I'm gonna change the page, this page change value will also get changed according to the page which is getting changed. For example, let's see. Okay, don't worry, I'll just print page change here, and let's see what we get. Right, let's save it, or rather restart this application, and I'll show you what I mean by this. Now if I change this page, you can see that 1 is getting printed. Now if I change it again, you can see that 2 is getting printed. Now what is this? Whenever this page is getting changed, it gives the value of the new page as a return, as a parameter to this. Now what is this index? The current page that is getting viewed on the screen. If I scroll back, you can see the value that is getting printed is 1. That means the index of this page is 1. So we are setting this value to page changed. Now instead of this 1 and 2, these were all static values. I'll write page changed minus minus, and here I'll write page change. Okay, it is page changed plus plus. right? Let's save it and see what happens. If I tap this, you can see that I got scrolled to the backward pages, right? If I press this, it is automatically getting changed to new screen, right? So I have to tap 2 times. Why? Because I've used this as minus minus afterwards. So I'll write minus minus page changed and plus plus page changed. Okay. Now why I place these signs before the variable? These are prefix operators. What happens is that when we use prefix operators, first the value is getting changed and then it is updated to the variable. So let's see if it works or not. If I press here, you can see that now it is working like a charm, right? So that's how you can programmatically change the scroll page views. You can use these page views in your sliders as well. Okay, one more thing. Let's wrap this page view in a column, right? First page view to be wrapped with the widget as expanded, and I'll use another expanded widget after this, right? What I'm doing is I'm just giving 2 expanded widgets. This way I'm telling that these 2 containers should take equal spaces. Let's save it, and you can see that I have a blank container here and this page view is getting equal spaces. Now what I wanted to show you is that this page view is not meant to be taking the entire screen. It's totally your wish how you want it to be arranged or aligned. You can see that it is working fine with this size as well. You can always give custom size to page views and control them using the page controller. We do have different controller properties here. Go and search for that and do some research on the different properties and try out. And yes guys, do follow on our social platforms as I'm active on that platforms as well. And if you want to share your code, if you want to share anywhere you stuck, you can always share using different social platforms. All the links are in the description. Do write in the comments how you feel about this video, and please share the screenshots of how you're gonna implement this in your applications. Yes, so I'll feature it on my pages, all the social platforms. So feel free to share it and tag the growing developer in your posts as well. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you're having a nice day. Goodbye.